Hi, I'm Radia. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist.
And I'm Peter, and I'm a certified traditional naturopath.
And this is Wake Up America. Today we are going to talk about the education, or shall we say the lack of education, in nutrition and complementary and alternative medicine in the top medical schools.
We expect, because of generations of social conditioning, to be able to walk into that medical doctor's office, see that comforting figure in the white lab coat with MD on his or her chest, and be able to ask any question at all about any area of health and expect to get an authoritative answer. Well, as time has gone on, more and more evidence has become apparent that that's no longer the case. But the medical community still tries to portray that halo effect that we talked about in an earlier video, that they are indeed the all-encompassing experts. Well, we in the Texas Health Freedom Coalition decided to test the truth of that statement. And we conducted a survey of the publicly available curriculum information of the nation's top 25 medical schools and the top schools in Texas as it pertains to mandatory training in the areas of complementary care and nutrition. And we found some very interesting results, didn't we, Radia?
We sure did. Let me read some of this. This is mandatory nutrition and CAM. We're going to call it CAM, complementary and alternative medical training at the top U.S. medical schools, starting, of course, at the top with Harvard University. In nutrition training, 2 hours, 2 semester hours. That's it, two semester hours. And in CAM training, none listed. Johns Hopkins University, none listed in both nutrition and CAM training. University of Pennsylvania, 1 4-week combined course in nutrition and none in CAM training. University of California in San Francisco, 1 combined course, 1 combined course in nutrition and 1 combined course in CAM. The University of Washington in St. Louis, 1 combined course in nutrition and none listed in CAM. Duke University, none listed in nutrition, none listed in CAM. Stanford University, none listed in nutrition, none listed in CAM. Yale University, none listed in nutrition, none listed in CAM. Baylor College of Medicine, 1 6-week combined course in nutrition and none listed in CAM. Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. This was the, kudos to them, award-winning 4-year program in nutrition and none listed in complementary and alternative medicine. UCLA, 1 combined course in nutrition, none listed. The list goes on, none listed, even at UT in Houston, none listed in nutrition, none listed in complementary training. And I do want to mention, too, when we do say, oh, and here, the Mayo Medical School as well, none listed in nutrition, none listed in CAM training. So what I also want to talk about, too, is when you say nutrition, we are not talking about, generally, we're not talking about clinical nutrition, which is very, very different than the nutrition that is taught in these colleges, which was basically what we're talking about as the pyramid. So 1 semester or a couple of course hours in the pyramid really does you as the patient little or no good. It really doesn't use nutrition or any of these modalities in a healing way.
Absolutely. And the implications for us as consumers of medical care is huge. And what I mean by that is that, think about it. Are you going to be able to get valuable and authoritative advice on areas like homeopathy, various kinds of herbalism, other systems of medicine like traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurveda from a medical doctor? What's the standard default answer? Oh, no, don't do those. Well, what they're not telling you is it's not don't do those because they don't have value. It's don't do those because they don't know, but they're not willing to admit it.
This was published, and it was entitled "United We Stand, Divided We Fall: The Conflict Between Medicine and Nutrition in our World." And it was stimulated by typically, I had a client who came in who was going through cancer therapy with her doctor, and she wanted an adjunct or a complement, a nutritional protocol to go along with her complementary cancer treatment. And so I went through what I was going to do with this person and everything, and she said, okay, that's fine, great, I just have to run this by my doctor.
Famous last words.
And I said, okay, well, before you do, I want you to take everything that I'm doing, and I handed her literally the citations and the references for everything I was going to give this person and everything I was going to do. 2 days later, I get a call back from her, and she's canceled her appointment. So I called her. What a surprise. I called her and said, why did you cancel your appointment? She says, well, my doctor says that that's just a bunch of hocus pocus and a waste of money. And I said, really? And you came to me and was very excited about this program. Why do you suddenly have this change of mind? She says, well, he's my doctor. He knows. And I said, well, you go back to your doctor and you ask him how much in his training, how much nutrition and how much clinical nutrition has he had in his education. I'd really like to know, because I've had almost 8 years. Okay, I've had about the equivalent in medical school, and plus I've been practicing for 20 years, that doctor has had in medical school, I have had in clinical nutrition. And I showed him all the citations and everything. And honestly, here's what I said to this person. I said, I really wish your doctor would stop practicing nutrition without a license.